I didn't expect them to be the one who betrayed me. I always thought if someone stabbed you in the back, you'd feel it coming. A weird pause, a guilty look, some kind of sign. Instead, betrayal walked into my life with takeout, a bottle of ginger ale, and my favorite person in the world saying, Maya, you are this close to taking over the industry, and I am honored to eat noodles on your floor while you do it. That was Zoe. My best friend since 8th grade, my co-founder, my emergency contact, the first person I texted when things went right, and the one who sat with me when they didn't. If you'd asked me who I trusted most, I would have said Zoe without thinking. So, of course, it was her. Our app, Insight Loop, was finally getting attention. We'd built it out of my tiny apartment, an analytics platform for small online shops. It translated boring data into simple decisions. Raise this price, run this item on sale. Your customers click this, not that. The big break came when TitanCart, a tech giant with more lawyers than employees, offered a partnership. We'll acquire part of your company now, their rep had said on the video call, with an option to fully buy you out in 2 years. Zoe bounced in her chair, mouthing, say yes, say yes, say yes. We'll need a week, I said instead, to have our lawyer review the terms. When the call ended, she threw a pillow at me. A week? Maya, come on, this is it. This is the rocket ship. I'm not signing anything I haven't read twice and highlighted, I said. You know that? She rolled her eyes but smiled. Fine, I trust you. Funny, the things people say. The sabotage started 3 days later. I woke up to 37 angry emails from clients. Your app logged me out of my own account. All my sales data is screwed up. Why did you send my reports to another user? I opened our system and felt my stomach drop. Fields were mislabeled, accounts cross-linked, private numbers visible to other clients. It looked like we'd taken all their secrets and thrown them into a blender. Bug? Zoe yawned over video call, still in her oversized hoodie. We pushed the new update last night. Maybe something migrated wrong. But we haven't finished testing that build, I said. I left it on the staging server. It wasn't supposed to go live. She frowned. Maybe you clicked the wrong thing. You've been working like 20 hours a day. You're allowed to make a mistake, you know. I replayed the night in my head, the commits I'd made, the logs I'd checked. I didn't push anything live, I said. She suggested we roll back, send apology emails, offer discounts, damage control, logical steps for a bad update. Except when I opened the deployment logs, I saw something that made my skin prickle. The update hadn't been pushed from my account. It had been pushed from hers. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. Hey, I messaged her privately. The deployment came from your credentials. Were you fixing something after I logged off? No response. I waited. Texted. Called. Nothing. By evening, she finally replied, sorry, meeting ran late. My laptop auto-syncs sometimes. Maybe that's it. It was a reasonable answer. Reasonable enough that I wanted to believe it. But that night, when my brother Liam dropped by with groceries, I blurted out everything while he was unpacking spinach and ramen, like some sort of domestic superhero. You think she did it on purpose? He asked, leaning against my counter. I don't know what I think, I said. She's always been the one who double-checks me, not the one who makes mistakes. Everyone messes up eventually, he said, even golden girls like Zoe. You don't like her, I said suddenly. You never have. He shrugged. I like you. She's part of the package. Which was not the same thing at all. TitanCart requested an emergency call 2 days later. Their rep's smile was gone. We've heard from some of your clients, she said. They're concerned about data exposure. Before we move forward, we'll need a full audit of your security practices, and we'll be talking to those clients directly. My throat went dry. We take this very seriously. We'll figure out what went wrong. And if this is user error, she said, pausing, we'll reconsider the offer entirely. After the call, Zoe and I sat in silence on opposite ends of our shared workspace. We can fix this, she said eventually. You always fix things. I can't fix trust, I said. Not theirs, not TitanCart's. She flinched. We should at least look through the access logs together, I added. It might help to show them exactly what happened. Her eyes flicked to mine quickly, then away. Sure, tomorrow. I'm wiped. She left early that night, hugging me at the door. We'll get through this, she murmured. I'm not going anywhere. But when I came into the office the next morning, her desk was empty. Her laptop was gone, her nameplate was not. I found out where she'd gone through social media, of all things. A glossy Titan Cart post. Welcome to our newest senior product strategist, Zoe Lau. We're thrilled to have her on board as we expand our small business analytics division. The world narrowed to a single point on the screen. It wasn't just that she'd left, it was that she'd joined them, the company negotiating to buy us, before our deal was even decided. Liam came over that night after I texted him. I'm fine. But also, I might be on the floor forever now. He didn't say anything at first. He just sat beside me and handed me a mug of tea while I stared at Zoe's smiling profile picture. Say it, I muttered. Say what? That you warned me, that you never trusted her, that you always thought she was selfish. He shook his head. I was wrong about one thing. I looked at him. What? He sighed. I didn't think she'd be dumb enough to leave a trail. The unexpected twist wasn't that Zoe betrayed me. That hurt, yes. But the real shock came when Liam pulled a USB drive from his pocket and said, like it was nothing, "You should probably see this." I stared. What is that? Security footage, he said. You remember how you asked me for advice when you rented your office about whether it was worth getting cameras? I nodded. You said it was overkill. I said it was optional, he corrected. And then I helped the landlord pick a provider, and he gave me admin access as a thank you. Liam, you're not the only one who likes backups, he said. You're just noisier about it. On my laptop, he pulled up a folder of time-stamped clips. I check the cameras occasionally, he said, just to make sure you're safe when you work late. Last week, I saw something weird. He hit play. There was my office, me leaving around midnight, exhausted, slinging my backpack over my shoulder. 10 minutes later, the door opened again. Zoe slipped in. On screen, she went straight to my workstation, plugged in a drive, and started typing. She toggled between windows like she knew exactly what she was looking for. At one point, she pulled out her phone, reading something off the screen as she copied files. She wasn't fixing a bug. She was taking my work, uploading, downloading, switching accounts. At one point, she sat at her own desk, used her credentials, then moved back to mine. I watched the timestamp hit 1:03 a.m., the moment the bad update had gone live. Only it hadn't been an accident, it had been a swap. The real build, carefully tested stable removed, the scrambled one deployed. Liam paused the video. There's more. Another clip, different angle, a week before all this. Zoe sitting at my desk again, on a video call with someone whose face wasn't visible. Only the Titan Cart logo in the corner of the screen. She trusts me completely, Zoe was saying. Once this rollout hiccup happens, I'll look like the one who kept my cool while she flails. You'll see she's too risky to bet the whole acquisition on. My heart thudded in my ears. She laughed then. Of course she'll think it's her fault. She always blames herself first. It's one of the reasons this will work. I clicked pause with shaking fingers. Liam watched my face. I didn't want to show you until I had everything saved, he said quietly, in case she somehow deleted it from the system. You knew, I whispered. You knew before I did. He didn't deny it. I wanted proof first. I expected to feel numb. Instead, a strange calm settled over me. I'd been set on fire, and now I had the matches. Revenge, I decided, didn't mean hurting Zoe. It meant making choices she had never expected me to have the strength to make. Titan Cart scheduled their audit call for Monday. I'd still like to discuss a partnership, their rep said briskly, but we need clarity on your security issues and whether we can trust your systems. You can't, I said. They blinked. Pardon? You can't trust our systems as they are, I repeated, because we haven't been securing them against the right people. I shared my screen, first the access logs, then the deployment trail, then finally the video clips. I let them watch Zoe walk in, swap builds, log in with my account, then hers. Have that secret call with someone whose voice they recognized, even if I didn't. Their own VP of acquisitions. No one spoke for a long time. I believe, I said eventually, that your VP encouraged my co-founder to sabotage our company so you could justify lowering your offer, maybe even walk away and build a copy with her instead. That is a serious accusation, the rep said, her voice thin. It's also reality, I said. You came to us because you liked what we built. You thought a partnership would give you a head start. Instead, your own employee decided to recruit my partner off the back of deceit. I closed the video. I'm not here to beg you to stay, I continued. I'm here to make one thing clear. If you use anything Zoe took, our architecture, our client strategies, our code, you will be building on top of something I can prove was stolen. And I will not hesitate to share every piece of this with my lawyer, with our clients, and with anyone else who asks why Insight Loop suddenly has a twin. The rep swallowed. What do you want, Ms. Patel? I want you to terminate whatever arrangement you've made with Zoe, I said. In writing, I want a statement that you will not be using any of the assets she provided without verifying their origin, and I want you to step back from any talk of acquisition. For now. You're walking away? She asked, stunned. I'm postponing, I said, until I know I'll be treated like a partner, not prey. She nodded slowly. I'll need to speak with our legal team. Of course, I said, and ended the call. Revenge Stage 1, Titan Cart. Stage 2 was Zoe. People always imagine revenge as dramatic confrontations and shouting matches. Mine involved calendars and a conference room. I invited our top 10 clients to a transparency briefing. I promised clarity about the recent issues and our plans moving forward. I also invited Zoe. Her reply was immediate. Of course, happy to support. We can fix this together. She arrived in a sharp blazer I'd never seen before, looking more polished than the friend who used to code in socks with cartoon avocados. Wow, she said, giving me a quick, careful hug. You look composed. I had a good weekend, I replied. She didn't know that good meant printing evidence. Our clients sat around the table, coffees in hand. Zoe took a chair beside me like she always had. Thank you for coming, I began. You deserve to know exactly what happened. I outlined the issue briefly, the bad update, the data misrouting, the timeline. Then I hit play on the first security clip. Zoe froze. I watched her face as she saw herself on screen, entering my office after midnight. Her fingers tightened around her pen until her knuckles turned white. Is this a joke? One of our clients asked. No, I said. This is what happened when you trusted Insight Loop and one of its founders decided her future mattered more than your data. I showed the second clip, the call with Titan Cart's VP. Of course she'll think it's her fault, Zoe's recorded voice said from the speakers, smaller and meaner than it had been in my memory. She always blames herself first. For a moment, the room was utterly silent, then questions hit like hail. Were our numbers exported? Did she share my sales patterns? How much of our strategy does Titan Cart now have? Zoe stood slowly. I can explain. No, I said, surprising even myself with how steady I sounded. You can apologize. Explaining implies there's a version of this that makes it okay. She turned to me, eyes wet. Maya, I panicked. Titan Cart offered me more than I could, I finished. I'm sure, but you didn't just leave. You broke things on your way out and tried to blame me for the mess. I would have pulled you up with me, she insisted. Once I was settled, once things were less messy, you know me. You know I'm not. I thought I did, I said softly. I didn't expect you to be the one who betrayed me. Her lip trembled. So what now? You're just going to, fire me after everything we've been through? I looked at her for a long moment. Legally, I said, you resigned when you signed your Titan Cart contract. Ethically, you walked out the minute you chose them over the people in this room. I'm just catching up. One of the clients cleared her throat. Maya, if Zoe's gone, what happens to the app? We keep building, I said. How? With proper audits, with fresh eyes, and with a written commitment that no part of your data will be shared with any outside entity without your consent. I turned back to Zoe. Your access has already been revoked. If you step foot in this office again without an invitation, we'll ask you to leave. She stared at me like she didn't recognize me. You wouldn't even have this company without me, she whispered. I helped you believe you could do this. You did, I agreed, and I'll always be grateful for the version of you who meant those things. But that version didn't walk into my office after midnight to sell me out. She opened her mouth, closed it, then grabbed her bag with shaking hands and walked out. She didn't slam the door. It would have been easier if she had. In the weeks that followed, TitanCart quietly announced an internal restructuring. The VP of Acquisitions left to pursue other opportunities. Zoe's shiny new position vanished from their website. I didn't have to lift a finger. The clips had done their work. I heard through the grapevine that Zoe tried to pitch a new analytics project to a smaller company, only to have them ask, "Aren't you the one who tampered with your co-founder's system?" Word travels fast when people feel they were almost dragged into something messy. I didn't celebrate, but I did sleep better. Insight Loop survived. Some clients left, others stayed. New ones came when we published a brutally honest blog post about what had happened and how we were changing our security practices. Liam helped me draw new access maps. No more single points of failure, he said. People can't break what they can't reach. I looked at him. If you ever wanted to join officially, he laughed. I like being the anonymous guardian angel. Thanks. We went back to work. Sometimes at night, I think about 8th grade Zoe sitting next to me on the swings, promising we'll always be on the same team. I believe she meant it then. I also believe people choose who they become. Betrayal changes you, but so does surviving it. I learned that trust should be given freely, but not blindly. That the person you'd never suspect might be exactly the one you should double-check. And that revenge doesn't have to be cruel to be complete. Sometimes it's just telling the truth loudly enough that the people who tried to bury you have to stand in the light they created. I didn't expect Zoe to be the one who betrayed me. I definitely didn't expect that. In the end, I'd be the one closing the door,